Scott Street through the red line.
Don't do that! Stay still!
Derbyshire traffic cops.
It just have warning markers for potential firearms.
Turn over! You're under arrest. Intent to supply class A drug.
Police 1,000 square miles.
It's a crash.
You got any other injury other than your head?
With some of the UK's most dangerous roads.
How nobody's been killed out of this, I don't know.
Do you know how fast you were going?
It's scary when stuff like this happens.
In life and death situations.
Get on the ground, you retain it! We've got runners. Face down! Yes, successful sting.
Around every corner,
Great acting, mate.
there's a new challenge for the traffic cops.
Step out of the vehicle now!
David!
Stop grabbing me like that! Stay there!
Coming up, it's a busy bank holiday weekend
On the floor now!
as officers hunt down a gang of suspected thieves.
Right, pal. It's police.
Deal with young drivers
All it is, I had a bit of rum and it's a bit, it sticks a bit.
If you're smoking in the evening, you will still be under the influence the next day.
Good.
Yes.
and a lorry crash locks down one of the county's busiest roads,
What's happened?
leaving officers searching for answers.
Something happened.
Well, something's happened.
Yeah, the S12E08, what are you on about? Just stay home.
Near the M1,
From an 8 to all units monitoring this channel, we've just had an ANPR hit for a vehicle. Stand by for details.
traffic cop John Terry is looking for a suspicious van using cloned registration plates.
All mobile units be aware, this vehicle is known for several thefts from lorries in the area on different counties as well as ourselves.
It's a Sprinter, mate, looking at the images. Plain white Sprinter.
Theft from heavy goods vehicles is one of the UK's fastest growing crimes, with millions of pounds of goods stolen every year.
Historically, I know that these guys, they're travelling down from the Leeds side. They'll have like a spotter vehicle that will come down the motorway. And they're always looking for where the police are. They bring down a clone lorry or a clone van if they're ill-gotten gains.
Are we just waiting for the van? We're not going to bother with the spotter?
We're just going to have a look at the van, mate, in case it's the removals van that's the dodgy one. We should be in combo with that car, that's it. Ford Fusion. I'm assuming it might be a spotter vehicle.
It's thought the van is travelling in convoy with a spotter car full of suspected thieves looking for targets.
Yeah, this Sprinter van's a clone, guys. Should be a removals van. It's been displayed on a white Sprinter. Drop me in car. It's possibly look at doing a block, couldn't we, if it stays on the motorway?
With fellow traffic cop Mark White and colleagues further up the motorway, John tails the suspect van.
Have you got the van in view?
I am, mate, yeah.
John pulls in front of the van.
Right, stopped on the slip road.
I go up to the lorry and the passenger door's wide open, the engine's still running.
Tango 3, I've got runners. Slip road. Into the woods, mate. The side of the slip road. Exit slip.
How many runners, John?
3 I only saw one male in the cab. He's exited out of the passenger door into the wooded area. I'm quite sure, mate, just one from what I saw in the rearview mirror. Initially wasn't going to follow me, as done. Stopped on the hard shoulder and decamped out the door.
24. I'm on the road that runs adjacent.
As Mark and colleagues search for the runner,
He's gone straight down the embankment. You can see where he's treaded down the grass.
John sticks with the van.
Yes. Got any tea for the dog? knees are on you. Come towards me. Walk towards me. Walk towards. Sit on your backside. Arms in front of you. Okay, mate, you're under arrest this minute in time. Suspicion of theft of those items in the back of that van. Can I have a local unit to me, please, vehicle's fully laden with goods in boxes. And in the back of this van we've got CCTV cameras, electric scooters, watches, etc.
While John takes stock of the goods in the van,
Jim, I'm just coming up. How far have you got?
nearby, Mark and other officers are tailing the spotter car.
Yeah, coming to you. I think I've got you in sight, Jim. I'm just at the roundabout now. Get on the straight, Jim. I'll try and get in front. Do you want me to take it from?
Yeah. Follow it, Jim.
Turn the ignition off, pal. Turn the ignition off for me. 3-5 vehicle stopped, 5 occupants. We need some of the units, please, so we can get these males searched. They've been detained.
Right, at the minute, you're under arrest, okay? Suspicion of theft from vehicle. Where are you all from? Right, okie dokie.
Okay.
You're being arrested for suspicion of theft from a vehicle. Right, you've been in convoy with a van that was just stopped that's full of stolen gear. Listen, all we need is suspicion, okay? And at the minute, I've got suspicion that you're connected with that Sprinter van we've just stopped that's full of stolen gear. Well, you know, because that's what was... That's fine, yeah. But you're just right here for a jolly, aren't you, this time of night? I'll wait for some more units, we'll just pop you in handcuffs, alright? Just get that down first. Okay, alright.
Out in your pockets, no sharps, Rose.
No, it's not. No, your pocket.
Okay, just step over here for me, pal. Okay, but I'm going to search you to start with. Okay, right there for me. You got anything on you at all you shouldn't have?
Have we seen there's another bloke in the boot?
There's someone else in the boot?
There's someone else in the boot. Right, yeah. Well, he's pretending to be asleep.
There are 7 men linked to the suspected stolen goods, plus the man who escaped from the cloned van.
Stay there!
And now one of them's on the run.
Mate, stay there! Stay there or you get gassed. Stay there. Turn around! On the floor! On the floor now! Stay there. Down. On your chest. On your chest. Turn around.
Yeah, I've got that runner detained.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, mate, I got him. You want her to get to bed, T-Ren, right? Right, come on. We'll have to walk all the way around there.
That wasn't worth it, were it?
Back on the motorway, a dog handler arrives to help search for the runaway van driver.
Dog unit's going into this wooded area for the driver of the van. That's where he's gone, mate, anyway. I've not heard nothing, to be fair, other than him going there.
As the dog searches,
Adam's going in with the dog.
traffic cop Nick Rice is on scene with a drone.
So, to your 12 o'clock now, right in front of you. Right, stop there, head back towards the slip road, and whatever the heat source is, it's right in front of you. Yeah, I've got your dog, it's more or less in front of you now, south in front of you. There, you're on it now, it's literally standing on it.
Minutes later, John spots something.
Stand up? What for? I'm a police officer. You stood at the side of the motorway. Stand up. Yes, yes. Show me your hands. This one. Jump over here. Jump over here.
Gruber.
I'll take it to my car. From Leeds, are you? Are you under arrest on suspicion of theft?
What?
The item's in the back of that van that's just left. Yeah, I say the order special when questions are
Trying to court him.
you see me evidence.
With 8 suspected gang members under arrest, the cloned van and the spotter car are impounded.
Two have jumped out the car and legged it.
Coming up, Operation Limit.
He's had a swift parody this afternoon.
Oh dear.
Derbyshire's bank holiday campaign against drink and drug driving.
Have you had any complaints about my car?
Yeah, about you driving.
I've not been driving at all.
So, what, as in you've not driven down here?
I've not even driven down here at all, mate. I'm not from around here.
Okay.
Start the bank holiday weekend. I'm guessing there'll be quite a few people heading out for an extra day of drinking and celebrating and letting their hair down.
Traffic cop Matt Cork is part of Operation Limit, a bank holiday weekend campaign against drink and drug driving.
And with any luck, most people will make the adult choice of arranging transport home, is what we shall see.
Weatherman says it's going to be pretty good at the end of this week into the weekend, and that the long weekend is going to be good. You're instantly thinking it's going to be busy. I can guarantee that on a bank holiday weekend, our drink and drug drive statistics rise.
Around 10,000 people are killed or injured by drink and drug drivers every year.
It causes heartbreak to families. Unfortunately, it continues to grow. It keeps us busy day in, day out.
Were you involved in the RPD or have you just seen it?
Within an hour on patrol, Matt and colleagues receive a call about a car crash.
And on this collision happening, two have jumped out the car and legged it. So we're just making our way to assist with an area search, try and ascertain why they've decided to run. It's Friday night. I wouldn't be surprised if intoxicants are involved.
As Matt arrives, the runaway suspects have been rounded up.
Both mates in both cars driving with each other.
Oh dear.
That HGV apparently has popped out. I know where the red car's rear-ended the blue one.
Right.
We've got a driver of red car with him at the moment.
Yeah.
And he is our main man for the blue car.
Right, okay.
He's had a swift parody this afternoon.
Okay, grand. Do you want to come and have a seat in my car with me, mate? Super. Seat in there, youth.
While officers check on the other suspect, Matt deals with the driver.
Obviously, you've told me, colleague, you've had a spliff.
Yep.
You smell of cannabis. You've been involved in a road traffic collision, so therefore, I'm going to make a requirement of you to provide me with a sample of saliva for analysis. All right, I have to warn you that fail to do so may render you liable to prosecution. Okay, you happy to give me a sample?
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
Excellent. When was the last time you smoked cannabis then?
A couple of hours ago, mate. Not gonna lie to you. I have one every time after work.
Right. What do you do for work?
I drive for a living.
Right, okay. You realise the risks associated with that, mate?
What do you mean by that, mate?
As in, like, essentially, every single day that you get in a car,
yeah.
If you're smoking in the evening, you will still be under the influence the next day.
Really? I thought it lasted 2 hours.
No.
That's what I thought.
No. It potentially lasts days.
Really?
Yes.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's my new every day, actually.
Yeah.
I seem to get a lot of, certainly younger people that have got absolutely no idea, or claim to have no idea, that cannabis can be in your system for days.
Yeah. How long have you been driving?
Me, nearly 3 years, nearly.
Right, okay. Is this the first collision you've had?
Yeah.
Right.
Literally.
Okay.
I don't understand how somebody can be so stupid as to think, having used cannabis 3 hours ago, that they are now safe to drive.
I'm going to wipe this swab on your tongue and both sides of your mouth, alright? Just lean forward for us, mate. Sound in on the cheek, on the other cheek.
The results of the drugs wipe will take around 5 minutes.
Who's ended up running off then?
No one. They ran into the bush because of the car looked like it was going on fire. to be honest with you. So I'm not getting caught in that police. There's no point of that. I'm risk your life for that.
No, exactly. You've ever been involved with police before?
No.
Good stuff. What sort of work do you want to get into, do you know?
Driving, mate.
Right.
I'm in the middle of doing my life.
Right. I'll tell you now, if you carry on smoking cannabis, you're not going to get there.
You know what? I do it to hold me. To be honest with you.
Right.
I know, yeah, I bet you hear it every day. I bet you do.
You're
you
right,
know?
yeah.
But it actually calmed me down.
It might feel like it at the time, but all it's doing is making your mental health worse.
The impact of drug driving is massive. It can cause overconfidence, it can cause drowsiness, poor distance judgment. There's 101 different ways that it can affect your ability to drive negatively.
The test shows a positive result for cannabis. Okay. So at 22:40, you're under arrest on suspicion of driving that motor vehicle whilst over the specified limit of a controlled substance, namely cannabis. Okay. Thank you. You should follow this gentleman.
It's just a busy night tonight. Yeah, it's Friday night before a bank holiday weekend. Yeah, but you think if folk aren't at work Monday, it means that they go extra hard Friday night, thinking, well, I've got Saturday, Sunday and Monday to recover.
Right then, you ready?
A nurse takes a blood test from the driver.
The sample will be sent off for forensic analysis, and in the meantime, he will be bailed back to re-attend this police station in 3 months' time, at which point we should have the results. Follow me.
For now, the young man's free to get back on the road.
Any gear left home, Luke?
But a career driving trucks hangs in the balance.
Why would you risk it? 1, for your own health and safety. 2, for the safety of other people on the road. And 3, why are you going to risk your licence?
Tango 28, still monitoring radio.
Half an hour later.
Vehicle has been sighted, going up Warwick Avenue, believed to be on Burton Road, heading towards Little Over.
I think local units have potentially got a drink driver.
The hard and fast rule is if you're driving, don't bother drinking. Simple as.
Got eyes on that vehicle, I think. Stand by.
Hillsway, so spin back round back of Passenger Hill, Kiddo, and to where the roundabout is, where you'd go to Chain Lane.
Vehicle stopped, stand by. Oh, Paul. Yeah, yo. Good. Just come over to this side for us, mate. Is it your car?
Yes, my car.
Right, I tell you what, while we sort this, come and have a seat in my car, mate. From what I gather, I think there's been some information received from the public that chap's going to be drink driving in that vehicle. He's come around the roundabout pretty quick. I'll be honest, I thought he was going to go. I thought he was going to fail to stop. However, he has pulled up.
How come you pulled me over, officer? How come you stopped me? Have you had any complaints about my car?
Yeah, about you driving.
I've not been driving at all. I've only jumped into the car.
Right.
So,
what, as in you've not driven down here?
I've not even driven down here at all, mate. I'm not from around here.
Okay. Have you had a drink tonight?
I've had 2 shots.
Okay.
Honestly, I've not even driven the car. About 10-15 minutes ago. I've only had like 2 shots earlier on in the night.
Okay.
Friday night.
So,
but I don't drink behind the wheel.
No, good, excellent. So because of the manner you're driving, as described to me by other officers, and I can smell intoxicant on your breath now, and obviously you've said you've had 2 drinks.
Okay.
I'm going to make a requirement, go ahead, of you to provide me with a sample of breath for analysis. I have to warn you that fail to do so may render you liable to prosecution, alright?
I had a few shots about 3 hours ago, officer.
Are you happy to give me a sample of breath?
I'll give you a sample, but it's been about 3 hours.
That's fine,
all it is, I had a bit of rum and it's a bit, it stinks a bit.
Yeah.
So that's all it is, if you can smell it off me or whatever. But I'm not the type of guy who does anything like that behind the wheel.
Okay.
You'll often get those little signs before they've even provided a sample that they're going to be over. When they go, oh no, I'm sure I'll be fine. We had 2 pints. You can smell the beer on them. You know, the way that their eyelids are sort of almost starting to droop. You know that they're going to blow over straight away. Deep breath in, see your lips, keep blowing until I tell you to stop. Thank you.
So, legal limit is 35.
250,000 breath tests are carried out every year, and young males fail the most.
It was about 3 hours. I've only had 3 shots in total. All it is, I had a bit of rum. It's really, really smelly. And,
Okay. You've provided a sample of 61, mate. So at the minute you're under arrest on suspicion of driving that motor vehicle whilst over the prescribed limit.
Local officers arrive to take the man to the police station.
Just put your hands in front. Excellent. This one. Excellent. Anything on you that's going to hurt me? No, super, mate. I'm going to get you quick back down, alright?
Typical Friday night, to be honest. Not unlike any other Friday night, really, with people thinking they can get away with driving whilst under the influence. We've been probably out of custody for about 45 minutes, straight back in there for a couple more hours, I would imagine. But yeah, it's what we're here for.
Obviously, that's the second job tonight that's involved drivers being under the influence of intoxicants. Surprisingly enough, both of them need their licences for their chosen sort of careers. The first lad being a delivery driver with hopes of going on to be a HCV driver. Chap just now driving whilst under the influence of alcohol, and lo and behold, he's a mechanic. So two people that you would expect really would know better and would hold their licences in higher regard than they have done.
Coming up.
Yes, Ram, head on.
A driver suspected of cloning cars.
He may make an appearance very shortly.
Puts the traffic cops on high alert.
There's potential for something to crack off.
And a bank holiday lorry crash closes one of Derbyshire's busiest roads.
What's happened?
Nothing's happened.
Well, something's happened.
Something happened, mate. I can't remember.
It's bank holiday, so hopefully this will be the case. It'll be nice, smooth sailing, and we'll have no dramas. But could go one of two ways, I guess.
On the outskirts of Derby, traffic cop Nick Rice is halfway through a 12-hour shift.
In an ideal world, it would be that everybody behaves themselves and nobody gets into bother, and nobody has an accident or anything. But we shall have to see.
Someone's hidden away, what's that doing?
Nick spots a suspicious parked car.
There was somebody that I used to, still does, clone vehicles and drive around without a licence or insurance or anything, and I've had numerous pursuits with him, and he's rammed me before, and in fact, he drives Torontos, and there's a Toronto there. Yeah, let's have a look at that one. He used to hide stolen vehicles in that corner, which is why I've just been checking that one out. That's not right. That is not right. Why is there two policies on that? There's insurance. In fact, there's two vehicles for that plate. The chap who I believe has cloned this vehicle, I've had pursuits with him before. Chris Ryan's had a pursuit with him before. On the pursuit with Chris Ryan, he went off-road and he slammed through gates, and the top of the gate nearly came through Chris's windscreen, and he rammed Chris on that one as well.
Footage of the pursuit shows the suspect being followed down a country lane by PC Ryan. He reverse rams him
Tried for a second time. He has now rammed
before crashing through a gate
the first ram.
and then turning around and driving straight at PC Ryan.
He has rammed head on. Now reversing back down the road.
The man got away that night,
He's now off-road again, through a field, turned his lights off.
but was later tracked down through CCTV and was arrested. Nick believes he's up to his old tricks.
Knowing who I think it is that's going to be driving it, I would be happy taking that off the streets and negating the risk of him driving it, because if we get behind him and he's in a clone vehicle, he rams police vehicles, he doesn't stop, he goes the wrong way on dual carriageways and motorways, and I wholly like to negate that. I'm going to go and have a look at it.
Nick calls for backup.
I've stumbled across an Nissan X-Trail, which is his choice for cloning. Just pop up here, mate, just in case anything cracks off. There's no VIN number on it. Yeah, it's a clone. There's two different plates on it. Genuine's got roof bars across the top of it. It's a totally different plate as well. Yeah, it's a clone. Oh, let's have that away. When I saw it, I thought, if you look at the images, the ones around here have got them screws on the top right-hand corner of the plates. The ones down south have the screws through the middle, and also that's a plain plate, and that one has got writing underneath. From previous knowledge, I know that his go-to vehicle to clone a vehicle's plates is a Nissan X-Trail. So I'm doing a bit of investigation and digging. It turns out that this one in front is confirmed to be cloned. To stop anything else happening, we'll have it away. And it is a common problem around people copying other people's number plates to use them for criminality. So yeah, it is quite a big issue. I checked this unlocked actually. No, it's definitely cloned there. 100%.
The genuine car is registered 150 miles away, and Nick wants to get this clone recovered before the suspect turns up.
The guy who thinks cloned this vehicle, he may make an appearance very shortly. I don't know. Yay! Can we get this moving sharp as? There's potential for something to crack off, so we'd rather get this done and out of the way so we can clear the area. I just don't know. Don't come to work for trouble, but rather not have it. So the sooner we get out of here, the better, I guess. Yeah, cool. So I'm definitely happy with the result. That being on the back of that truck like that is a lot better than it being on the back of a truck when we've been involved in a pursuit. But for the time being, the roads are safe. So yeah, it's a good result getting that thing off the streets. Happy days.
From an 8, Oscar Tango Mobile units, have I got any units free, please, to start making their way towards the A38?
Yes, 35.
15 minutes later, Nick receives a call about an accident on one of the county's busiest roads.
The roads around Derbyshire on a bank holiday, you can see an increase in traffic, broken down vehicles, accidents happen as well. Obviously, if there's more traffic on the roads, there's more risk of a collision occurring. So we're just on the way to a report of an RTC on the A38 northbound. Report that a lorry driver has had a seizure and has come off the road and gone up an embankment and hit a tree, I believe. Any accident can be bad, but when it's HGV, obviously the risks are higher. They're a bigger vehicle. They're harder to stop, depending on what they're carrying as well. They've got a lot of fuel on board, and if they hit something a lot smaller, then they can quite easily wipe them out. When we get to the scene, we've got to help the people that need the help, but also consider the traffic flow as well and trying to keep everybody else still moving. But there also are times when, if it's serious enough, and we'll have to shut the whole road, and that can just bring chaos to the roads. But unfortunately, it's a necessary evil sometimes. Traffic is already slowing. Tango 38, soon to be stage 6, just with the backlog of traffic. I'm pulling up and I'm seeing a HGV up the embankment, just leaning against a tree. I think the driver's out. Hello? Driver? The driver of the HGV is sat up and talking, and it's a massive relief to think that there aren't any serious injuries. They live to fight another day. How are you? Yeah, what's happened?
Nothing happened.
Well, something's happened.
Something happened, but I can't remember.
You don't know?
No.
This HGV driver doesn't appear to be showing any kind of reaction to the collision that he's had.
there aren't any emotions. He seems quite vacant.
You think he had a seizure, there was an eyewitness. And as he approached him, he was violently jerking and shaking. And then as he got to him, he was still doing it.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't a result of the van coming up the embankment or anything. When he got to him, he was still doing it.
There's a passing doctor on scene who is off duty, and really nice of her to stop and help out.
When I got to him, he was just staring like...
I mean, he's not, from experience, to go into traffic collisions and stuff like that, he doesn't appear to be somebody that has had a collision. Probably they're quite panicked, upset, shaken. Yeah. There's none of that. No. Very... A witness has seen the lorry going up the embankment, and they said that they've seen him almost fitting at the wheel. They're the van keys, are they?
But he has amnesia, he has no idea how he got here, what happened, he's just denying it. His blood pressure slightly raised.
Is that high?
Yeah, it is high.
Unfortunately, I can't speak to the witness because they're no longer there, and I don't know who they are, and I've got no way of contacting them, which is annoying in a way because I'd like to have spoken to them to find out how this has happened.
Hello, Tango 38. Driver, as has been passed, is suspected to have some sort of medical episode. It's been seen by a member of the public apparently convulsing at the wheel before crashing. He's conscious and breathing here, he's out of the cab, he has no recollection of what's happened, and to look at him you wouldn't think that anything had happened.
With the eyewitness gone, Nick searches for other evidence.
It looks like he's come off right at the apex, taken out numerous trees along the way, but then it looks like he's been either steered or pushed back up the embankment into the final tree that's caught him. Amazing. I think if that tree hadn't have been there, he would probably have toppled over. So he's a lucky boy.
A recovery van arrives and the clear-up operation begins.
I was thinking that maybe he's been using his phone or something, but if you're using your phone, you're going to react, aren't you, if you drifted off? You're going to come back.
He is literally, so he's driving it.
You can see a consistent line up there. So there's something amiss here. There's no sign of any drug use, there's no smell of alcohol or anything.
I can't smell anything, but it's not always the case. You can't always smell alcohol on people that have had a drink, believe it or not.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. That's it, mate, thank you. That's it. Happy days, nothing. Alright. Right, so we're just waiting for the ambulance to arrive. Check you out and find out why this might have happened, alright? You might need to go to hospital. So they can run some checks and stuff. So obviously somebody said they've seen you having a fit. Do you recall that at all? No? You remember all of this?
I can't remember this, but I remember road. I was driving, nothing happened. I'm really surprised to see that.
What's the last thing you do remember? Do you remember coming under the bridges further up, where the big junction is? You don't remember that?
It's plausible that if he did have a seizure that he will have a bit of amnesia afterwards, and he was quite insane and transferring, examining him, his pupils are quite constricted, but he doesn't seem to be kind of twitching like they're suggesting that he's had drugs or anything.
No, well, I'm not suspecting drugs.
No.
With the questions over, an ambulance arrives to take the driver to hospital.
Cool, so if you want to get yourself on there... No.
That's what I'm saying.
Hello, Tango 38. As you may be aware, this chap is off to hospital. He appears very blasé almost, as if nothing's happened. Just got to be checked out of hospital. And we'll get some results from that, hopefully.
Despite the long queues of bank holiday traffic forming, Nick's forced to keep the road closed.
We are going to have to put a closure on between the junctions, the on and the off slip, whilst we get a recovery done.
Going to shut up on the slip road.
Yeah.
And restrain it.
Yeah.
Got another truck coming back. He's going to pull it back.
The vehicle's being strapped up to pull it out of the bushes back into the carriageway. It may, or may not, topple over. But yeah, we're just looking at getting it recovered now and then getting the road cleared up and reopened.
There could have been utter carnage here. Cars ploughing into the lorry, if it cut back across the carriageway, if it had have tipped over and then rolled back onto the carriageway. There could have been any number of outcomes which could have been a lot worse than what we're actually dealing with.
I mean, it still hit that tree.
Yeah.
That's his dash cam, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's been moved, hasn't it?
I've got hold of the footage, and it does show the vehicle just travelling a normal route up the A38, and then all of a sudden it veers off up the embankment and just carries on. There's no sign of the driver trying to correct his path or braking or anything, and it just carries on up the embankment, smashing through trees, and comes to rest where it comes to rest, on the embankment.
With the lorry taken away to be repaired, Nick can finally reopen the road. Coming up,
Gonna have to pop your passenger window.
a call for help from a trapped young driver.
I actually can't believe you're breaking that window.
Forces the officers to take action.
I'm not resisting. No, you're not. No.
2-8, I'm back on local now. What do you need?
Traffic cop Matt Cork is near the end of Derbyshire's bank holiday weekend drink and drug driving campaign.
Vehicle has been sighted.
Yeah, just confirm vehicle reg for me, please.
35 Stacey.
Matt and colleagues attend a report of a stranded driver. One of the car's tyres is down to the rim and the doors are locked. The driver claims that the keys have dropped out of the ignition and he can't find them.
I'm just going to grab my gloves, I'm going to pop the passenger window from coming. What I want you to do, because I'm going to have to pop your passenger window, okay? Well, you can't reach your keys, can you? Yeah, so we haven't got another option. We've tried that. So, cover your eyes now, and then put your head as close to this window, and I'm going to break the other window. Your safest place is if you cover your eyes with your hands so that no glass spills out into the car.
I actually can't believe you're breaking that window. Safest place for me is the front seat.
It's here looking at me. You find it's not going to shatter, it's just going to break, so just look at me. Just look at me and cover your eyes, that's it. There you go.
Oh, kind of I'm not resisting that floor. No, I'm not going to get slammed up.
You're not going to get slammed on the floor as long as you follow instructions, which you have done. So, we ain't got an issue, have we? I'm just trying to make this as safe as possible.
You are a
No, I'm not. You're coming this way, mate.
No, you joking?
No, you need to come out, pal, so we don't want to take you out through the window yourself. It's easy if you come out, isn't it?
You stick your hands on there for balance so that I know that area's clean.
Okay. Right, and I'm just going to put hands on to help you so you don't fall, fella, alright? There we go.
I'm not resisting.
No, you're not.
No.
Do you want to put a pair of these on now?
Yeah, that's fine.
This one, there you go.
Just you're not putting them too tight, though.
Yeah, anything on your thought you shouldn't have, fella?
Don't think so.
11, you're going to be arrested on suspicion of driving while being unfit. Fake the youth. Go and have a seat in my car.
Where are your keys? Are they under your seat?
Yeah, the right side.
Right, have a seat in there, man.
Done the bag leaving in there? Just give it to move it.
I'm happy enough with that, right? It's alright, I'm just going to roll that chair forward.
Matt suspects the young man is over the limit.
And keep holding the device, take a deep breath in, see your lips, keep blowing until I tell you to stop. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Excellent.
Yeah, you just put in the log. I managed to retrieve the keys for this car.
Legal limit's 35. You have failed. You've provided a sample of 87. Okay, so you're further under arrest on suspicion of driving a motor vehicle whilst over the prescribed limit of alcohol. Same caution and necessity applies. All right.
Nearly 3 times over the limit, the young man is taken into custody and his car is recovered.
Drink and drug driving at the moment, it's a massive, massive issue. And I can't understand for the life of me why these people choose to take that decision and get behind the wheel. We are dealing with drunk and drug drivers every single shift. Perhaps 2 or 3 incidents in a 12-hour period. We are dealing with them day in and day out, and the issue doesn't seem to be going away.
Across this bank holiday weekend, the police in Derbyshire dealt with hundreds of reports of drink and drug driving.
2 tons of metal with a drink driver behind the wheel of it. It's a recipe for disaster. Unfortunately, families are around the country every day experience the pain and the anguish of incidents involving drink drivers.
In this episode,
on the floor now!
The 8 suspects linked to the stolen goods in the lorry
Pal! It's the police!
have all been released on bail whilst the investigation continues.
If you're smoking in the evening, you will still be under the influence the next day.
Good. I thought it lasted 2 hours.
The trainee truck driver who crashed into a friend and tested positive for cannabis at the roadside remains under investigation whilst the police await the results of his blood test.
That's my new every day, actually. Yeah.
If it's proved he was over the limit, he faces a minimum 1 year driving ban.
All it is, I had a bit of rum and it's a bit, it stinks a bit.
The young mechanic, who admitted smelling of rum, failed to appear in court for drink driving and was later re-arrested.
I've had 2 shots.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm not even driven the car.
He was banned from driving for 12 months and received a £120 fine.
I was definitely cloned that. 100%.
The cloned car was recovered, but with no proof linking the suspect to the car, no further action was taken.
Remember all of this?
I can't remember this, but I remember road. I was driving, nothing happened. I'm really surprised to see that.
The lorry driver, who crashed on the A38, was released from hospital later that day.
He appears very blasé almost, as if nothing's happened.
No action was taken against him, but a few weeks later, the man was disqualified from the roads in connection with a separate incident of drink driving. And the young man found locked inside his car
I'm not resisting.
was disqualified from driving for 20 months and given a £300 fine.